now into the ticket office of Disneyland.
Oh boy, let's do this.
Don't think the CIA is going to be trying to hack your second-gen iPod.
I didn't think so. There might have been a lot of illegal music on there. I wouldn't doubt it. But, I mean...
Because that would be stupid.
iTunes is a constant source of embarrassment.
Like I said, stupid.
I really, 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 really don't see Apple ever doing that.
I am Nadella. Well, I can't do it anymore without laughing. I was going to do the whole thing. Welcome, everyone, to the Calling All Platforms podcast. I am your host. My name is Wes, and I've got here always to my left, Landon.
Hello.
And always to my right, Caleb.
Howdy.
You know, that threw me off a little bit because you were kind of looking at Caleb when you said me. Even though you said left.
Always to my left.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
I got disoriented. You know, I'm going
Not
to do
that
that
anybody
every time.
can see that, but
I'm
you
going
know.
to throw you guys off every time. That's my goal as a host now.
Great.
No,
just throw
wonderful.
you off.
Wonderful.
See if you can get one of us to say hey at the wrong time.
That would be fun.
Yeah, I guess so.
Anyway, so...
Whatever keeps him entertained, Landon.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
let him do his thing.
Cake, guys. So speaking of entertainment,
Browsers.
and this week, what huge things are coming out this week, Landon? Well, one thing.
Star Wars.
Yes.
I bought my tickets finally.
Nice. Sorry I couldn't go with you.
Jerk.
I feel bad.
It's okay. My wife had decided that she was going to go with me.
Yeah?
So I was going to go by myself. I didn't care. But then she was like, oh, I guess I'll go with you. Okay.
Fair enough. That's awesome. And you got it for Saturday?
Saturday.
I'm gonna
Yes.
beat you.
I don't care.
Doesn't your company,
Yeah.
they did that whole thing?
Yeah. Past 2 years.
Can I go
This is
as
the
your
third
wife?
No.
Can I get your plus one?
I'm pretty sure my actual plus one would be pretty upset about that.
Yeah, it's true.
Just saying.
She's a Star Wars fan, I take it.
I think she likes Star Wars more than I do.
Oh, wow.
I would still say she's more of a Trekkie than a Star Wars fan, but
You know,
Yeah.
I want to get into Trek. Like I know the characters. I know that the captains on each, well, the two main ones that I know is Next Generation, obviously, and then
the original
Kirk,
series.
the original.
Yes,
Those are the
Kirk.
two. But anything else, people are like, what about this and this? I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know Spock.
I think that objectively, the Next Generation is the best Star Trek series.
Oh, really?
Subjectively, I prefer Voyager, and I think it's just because that's the one I grew up with. But
that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
There's lots of options, and there's still new options for people who hate classic sci-fi and would rather have dramas, I guess.
Classic dramas.
I don't know.
No.
You know,
It's true.
I still have yet to see anything Star Trek.
Wow. That's almost impressive, actually.
even the newer movies, the
Yeah.
reboots.
Because
Really?
there has been, like, what are we up to now? 15, 16, like, major blockbusters that have been released in that franchise?
Yeah. I don't even think I've seen a full trailer.
Wow.
Really?
Like, other than, like, the 30-second
Wow.
clip on TV.
Oh, gotcha.
Like a
Wow.
full theatrical trailer. I don't even think I've seen a full one of those for Star Trek.
Dude, I should find you a full theatrical trailer for, like, one of the old 80s movies and
Oh,
send
would be
that to you, 'cause that would
fantastic.
be hilarious.
I actually saw the original. Okay, going back to Star Wars. Sorry, but we were talking about the original trailers. I saw the original New Hope trailer for that. I'm like,
Yes.
oh my gosh, that doesn't tell what.
You know, okay, I'm really excited. So, my in-laws, I was at their house this past summer. They have the original VHS tapes for the 3 Star Wars movies.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man,
Right now they're in
That's-
storage because they're in the process of moving.
yeah.
But once they're into their new house and have unpacked, I'm finding those and I'm watching them.
Wow. Do you have a VHS?
They do.
Okay,
There you
well,
go.
fair enough.
I
Oh,
don't,
man.
but they do.
Hopefully they still play. Can I tell you, if that doesn't work out, hold on to them.
Oh, I will.
Because then you can download the fan remaster. They took the HD remasters, they took the special edition and the HD Blu-ray remasters of the original trilogy, and they edited the entire thing to cut out all of the crap that George Lucas added in afterwards and restore the thing to basically its original theatrical release, and then put it online. Now, the caveat is obviously you have to own the trilogy legally in some way before you can download these things. But last I checked, they were still there, and I can't remember what they were called, like the Pure Edition or something like that. But it's HD, 1080p, looks really good, and Han shoots first. There's no stupid CGI banthas walking around in front of the cameras in Mos Eisley and all that stuff. It's really cool.
That would be fun to see. That really would. And then compare. I'm sure there's a YouTube thing to see. But...
And the stormtrooper smacking his head on the door when he walks through. That one's there. The fuzzy dice in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon. It is now. They took it out of the special edition. So they did like the VHS, the original VHS release that had it in. And then they did like a remaster or a redone VHS where they took out like a whole bunch of that stuff. And then they kind of touched up the space scenes so that you couldn't see the floating boxes around the TIE fighters and that kind of thing. And they did that. And then the special edition added a whole bunch of garbage in on top of all that stuff. And so like technically that second VHS release is like the good one, but they took out the little touches like the fuzzy dice in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon, the stormtrooper smacking his head on a door, all that stuff was removed. And so what's great is that this version puts it all back in, but still removes the boxes that float around the TIE fighters when they're flying around in space. So it's like the perfect melding of the two. It's good stuff.
Interesting. That would be really fun to see, though. You should invite me over. I would watch those with you.
Yes.
I would.
I'm excited to go see the new one, though. I need you go through all 7, 8 movies, because I'm going to throw Rogue One into that. Because
might as well.
Obviously.
Do it.
Yeah, obviously. Because that is such one of the best segues into A New Hope or any movie ever.
I know.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I didn't mind the transition from 3 to 4 anyways. I thought it was okay. It could have been done better, but it wasn't
left you
bad.
with some questions.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
Rogue One
is the ultimate transition movie.
It's so perfect.
It's amazing.
It's so good.
I wanted to go home and put in A New Hope. When
Me too.
I saw
yeah.
That. I was like, I need to go.
Like it basically takes 3 and 4 and turns them into a trilogy that arguably is better than the actual original trilogy as far as like cohesiveness is concerned, because it like just flows so well, and I don't know, it just makes 4 so much better than it actually is.
And it made Darth Vader just look.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Oh yeah. Like
that was
which was desperately needed, considering the first thing we saw of Darth Vader was the giant plastic suit with the asthmatic old man and the lightsabers that are flickering out and stuff like that. Oh, geez. That was so bad.
Dude.
The most hilarious sword fight in
Could you say
history.
¡my Darth Vader right there? No. Oh, it was amazing. And I saw a commercial the other day. It was this last week. I think it was one of the last, well, you know how they do the last release for the movie. I thought was interesting, just throwing this out there. It's not a spoiler because it's a commercial for Star Wars. I thought was interesting is Rey force grabbed the lightsaber of Kylo Ren. I was like, oh, that's interesting. And I think she was surrounded by, is it Kylo Ren's red team?
The
Knights of Ren,
yeah,
potentially.
the Knights of Ren.
I was like, oh, interesting. So,
yeah, I think that they have been playing up the whole like, Rey is really conflicted about the dark side versus the light side thing. They've been playing that up so hard that I totally expect it to not actually be there.
I don't think it's even going to be as big of a deal as Luke in Episode 5.
Yeah, maybe not. That's the thing is, like, just because they've been playing it up so hard, I keep having flashbacks to the Rogue One trailers, and then when I actually sat down to watch Rogue One, I'm like, this isn't even the same movie.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. So, I don't have any complaint about that because it gave me an idea of what the movie was going to be like without actually spoiling anything about the end of the movie. And that's perfect. Like, that's what movie trailers should do.
Yep.
So if that's what it turns out to be, I'm going to be totally down with that. I'm fine.
It's going to be fun to see. I'm just excited to see what they do with the characters.
Yep.
I really am.
Yep.
And where they go. So, well, guys, should we stop talking about movies and get into tech? I knew we had to talk about that, so that's why I brought it up.
We'll be talking about it again next week, I'm sure.
Yes, we will. All right.
Probably spoilers. Well, Wes, will you have seen it by the time we record next week?
Probably not.
I
Maybe, unless there's like a Mago Sunday night.
we can geek out without spoiling stuff.
That's true.
I'm confident in our ability to do that.
We totally could. So
we do it often enough already.
Yep, that's true.
We are geeks. We love it.
And just to save any listeners that may not either care to watch it this weekend or can't get to it this weekend, like you, Wes.
Yeah.
we are looking out for you guys.
Yeah.
Kind of.
We tried to. Unlike the spoiler I did on Justice League. I apologize again for that. Kind of.
You know
really
what?
Sad.
Anybody who has looked at the internet would have known that one. That one was so
True, but still,
so obvious.
I felt bad. Anyway, talking about futuristic things and sci-fi, if we want to talk about that, Microsoft's foldable phone shows up again in new patents. Kind of interesting on there. So I wasn't really going to say much of this because obviously, we're not sure if this is a real thing or whatnot, but this was back in 2016. When they looked at it, I've got a couple pictures here. Obviously, our audio listeners can't see, but this is one iteration that they had. They were kind of looking at for the foldable type of phone that they were wanting to for the patents.
One of those looks, it reminds me of the current foldable phone, quote-unquote foldable phone that's out there. It's just basically two phones that fold together. That's kind of one of those pictures looks like that.
Yeah, and I've got a couple more here that I was showing. But if you want to look at this, the listeners, that I actually went to Thurrott.com, and he does a lot of Windows things, and this is a big one that he had on there. And if you want to see pictures of it, it looks pretty cool. It's an interesting idea. A couple key points. This was spotted by Walking Cat, is what he calls himself, for which he found which was published today. If you scroll down the article, you'll see the different things that they were pointing at, where the pins would be, where things would be, what they thought would be working. But one thing I thought was interesting is this was actually documents that are mostly from Nokia imagining team when they owned Nokia when they did this. So a lot of the people that worked for Nokia, they were pushing for this. And this was back in 2016 in June is what they were saying. So the thought is maybe that these will be for the they think as far as 2019, possibly for this Andromeda thing that they're pushing for. So thought it was cool. Foldable phone. From the looks of this, it looks cool, but I don't know. It's definitely a different step in a different direction if it lands, But what do you guys think of? Well, the question I brought it up is because I wanted to talk about a new way of not just having a flat phone, foldable or some kind of thing. Like, what do you think?
So I actually just this past week, a couple of weeks ago, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. started up season 5. Awesome.
Oh, gee, I got to get into that.
So good. Love that show. Anyways, that show has consistently been fantastic science fiction for the past couple of seasons, which is really weird and totally not what I was expecting to happen with that show, but it's awesome. And I saw a piece of technology that I am like, forget screens that fold. Like, LG, you're not meeting my science fiction needs. They have a tablet in the show that like the aliens are using that it's like a scroll basically. So it's like this little tube, and then you grab a piece of it and pull it out, and a screen just rolls out of it. And then when you fully extend it, it becomes stiff, and you have a flat tablet screen that you can use and interact and that they play with. And then they push it back into a little tube, and that's what I want my next phone to be.
See, I hear that.
That's interesting.
And I actually think LG is closest to getting to that.
LG is definitely closest.
Because their screens do roll up.
They're still so far away, though.
I was going to say, I thought we talked about something similar to this earlier in one of our podcasts that LG was doing. So
yeah, LG has like pretty darn flexible displays, and they're really cool. But it's just, and also it's like the details too, because we've talked about like, LG's got their big display that rolls up into like poster size, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's all like, oh, wouldn't it be cool to have a newspaper like that and that kind of thing? But I look at that now and I'm all like, I mean, no, it wouldn't, because if I want to interact with a touchscreen, I want it stiff. Yeah. So it's got to be able to roll up, and it's got to be malleable and foldable so that it can roll up into this little tube. But then when I fully extend it, I want it stiff. I want it resistive to my touch. And then I want it to shift back at will so that I can roll it back up.
It's like those snap bracelets.
Yes. And I was actually kind of thinking, I wonder if that's what they're using for the prop on the show, is like snap bracelets of some kind.
Interesting. That would be interesting.
Thing. But like it's just kind of a really cool idea, because that way you've got the processor and your battery and all that stuff you can house inside of the tube, and literally all you're pulling out to interact with is the display. And then when you fold it away, like if you have like a tiny tube that's the size of your phone, then you could have the thing like 3 inches tall and maybe a 1/2 inch in diameter or something like that. That would fit into your pocket so nicely. It would be like a large pen,
like the size of an old roll of film.
Yeah, or like lifesavers. It would be like a roll of lifesavers in your pocket.
So
and that would be sweet.
So so even with a phone with that, like, would you want to keep the phone away from your ear? Or are you thinking like you can only instead of having it to your ear, you have to have a Bluetooth?
Well, I
to
think
talk.
it could be a Bluetooth. Like, honestly, a device that size, you could easily put a little hook on the thing and make it so that you could just hook it over your ear, and there you go. You're talking on the phone.
Yeah, that's true.
I also think it would be perfectly reasonable to expect them to be able to put a microphone down on the end of the screen so that you pull it out and then hold it up to your face just like we do with phones nowadays.
That makes sense.
Like,
Or they could make it so you don't even have to pull the screen out, and it's just
right, yeah,
the
you just
tube
kind
is
of hold it
basically-
up, and
yeah,
that's your
I
phone.
mean, all you need is a microphone and a speaker. So
Yep. And then, like, you know, you can make bigger ones, and you could have like a 5-inch tall tube or something that would still fit in your pocket pretty nicely, but would fold out to like a big old 9-inch tablet display or something like that.
Yeah.
So I think, like, I saw that and I was looking at that, I was like, that's pretty cool. You know, like Star Trek back in the day, back in the 80s, predicted iPads and tablets and smartphones as we know them today. That was all of their stuff. It was a screen that you tapped on the screen, and that was how you interacted with the thing on this little thin plate that you carried around. That was
That's true.
what
They
Star
did.
Trek thought it was back then. I honestly think that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. may have predicted the next jump in what we are going to consider mobile communication technology as far as tablets and that kind of thing are concerned. So
That's interesting.
that's what I want to see.
I
But-
could
that
see
would
that.
be awesome.
It'd be definitely something to get used to.
Oh, yeah.
Like, but that would be it would be fun. Hold on.
Right? Like, that's the thing. That, like,
It
I
has
think
to make
they
that
went,
snap though.
yes, they went with that design, I'm sure, because somebody was all like, "Oh, that looks cool on camera," but it's
Kinda
sweet.
does.
Like, it's a scroll thing, you know.
Yeah.
Like, you as a kid, you always like, "Oh, we've got books. Books are so boring and pedestrian." I wish that everything I had was on ancient Egyptian scrolls of papyrus. Like, that's what I wanted when I was a kid, and that's what this is.
Absolutely.
It's digital papyrus. It's so cool.
It's funny
Not
how
the font.
we would
Oh,
go back
geez.
to that.
Oh,
Not the
no,
font.
it's not. No,
Interesting.
Comic
That's
Sans.
cool.
That's what we want.
Yeah.
Please no. Please no.
Jeez. What about you, Landon? Any comments on foldable device or roll up device?
Well, my first thought when you said about the patent, I was like, it almost seems that everyone's somehow getting a patent on foldable phones. It's like Oprah handing out, you get a foldable patent, you get a patent, you
Everybody
get a patent.
gets one.
Everybody gets a foldable patent. Because, I mean, most big companies have, I mean, Apple's got one,
Yeah.
Samsung's got one, Microsoft now has one, I think LG's got one.
Yep.
All these big major phone company or technology companies are trying their own take on the foldable phone.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do think something to that extent is the next major
Iteration.
transformation for phones. Because, I mean, it's kind of been relatively stagnant for the past, probably even just since the iPhone came out.
Yeah.
Past
I mean, there's
decade.
been little things. I say little things. A lot of them are pretty big deals, but nothing as far as the
form factor is the same.
and everything like that. It's nothing major has happened in phones for the past 10 years.
Yeah. True. But I guess it'd be hard to change that iteration of it. Like,
Oh yeah,
Well, yeah.
it's not going to be.
I mean, well, you got to think it's always been the two ever since phones come out. You got a speaker and a
Yeah. And that's the thing, like, you can't have like world-changing product redesigns happen like that every 5 years or
Right.
something like that. The fact that it's been 10 years, not necessarily surprising.
no.
You know,
and not bad. It's just
right. Like, whatever. It's working for us so far. But I think that it's probably true that some kind of device that, you know, gives you a screen that's 5 to 6 inches and yet takes up half that amount of space in your pocket is probably the next place that phones are going to go.
Yeah.
Because we went from giant brick phones down to really tiny little tiny flip phones, and then we went back up to giant brick phones. So now we have to go back in the other direction because holy crap, I love my phone, but it's a monster and it takes up so much space.
yes.
So
Okay. That was kind of fun to talk about. That's why I brought it up. I want to talk about that. So
Yes.
moving on, I actually have a little bit of Google news with this. I thought was really cool. So Cortana now works with Google Calendar. So I pulling this off of here. I did a little more research. It's not all of Google things. So, for example, it's actually for the feature doesn't seem to be live for Cortana on Android or iOS yet.
The place that it would make the most sense
is but it is for the PC for obvious reasons.
Yes.
So you can connect that. You can ask her and on there, but it also works perfectly with the Cortana-powered smart speaker from Hardin Cardin. So you can
that
access
also makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
which is your Google or the smart speaker. That's what it's going for. I was going to say that's like your Google Home. Nope, that's not it. But you can check the calendar, you can check all sorts of stuff, and you can also edit things. Have Cortana edit things for you, and it worked great for on there. I know Paul Thurrott. I saw that he did it as well, and with a couple others that wanted to try this out. Coming from him, he was able to do all that. Like, for example, he says, "What are my Google Calendar events for tomorrow?" In quotes. So he was able to say that, and Cortana was like, "Oh, this is what you got." He was able to change things, mess with things, see things, and so you're able to do that. And I'm like, well, there you go. That's awesome. So if you're a Windows 10 user, which is a lot of people, you can now access your Google stuff with Cortana.
Yeah,
that way.
It's kind of funny because it's like if you're a Windows 10 user who happens to manage your calendar stuff through Google Calendar, which is actually probably a ton of people.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
the number of people who are using Windows 10 as their operating system and therefore have Cortana available to them and are also managing all of their cloud stuff through Google and Google services.
Probably
That's
about
like 90% of
Yeah.
PC users right there. And then the rest of us are using Macs and iPhones and don't care.
And those just work. Yeah. So, and that's cool because I think as this is moving forward, obviously, since Windows is getting out of the, not that they're getting out of the mobile situation, but they're taking what they have and putting it on Android. Obviously, they are putting on iOS, but it's a lot harder to make it a, what would be the word, default?
Oh, yeah. Can't do
for,
it.
iOS, but on Android, I mean, they've got a Microsoft Experience, which they're updating and things. And so this just helps, even with connecting your iPhone that way. And it's just that, I mean, that's a great marriage right there. Yep. Obviously. So you'll get that. And then later down the road, Cortana and I'm not going to say the word, your Echo, or I don't want to say the hot word for people, but are combining.
The Amazon assistant.
Thank you. Amazon
Who
assistant.
shall not be named.
I know there's one podcast I listen to. They call her Madam A.
Madam A.
Madam A.
Fair enough.
And so, Cortana, I mean, they're just improving everything with her, and she's becoming more and more a very viable solution for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So even on there. So, but I don't, like I said, I don't keep track of the Apple. I know you can do these things, but it's probably not as default for you. It's
Apple's stuff is integrated with Apple stuff, and in terms of like integration, you can't find it better. But if you're missing one piece of that equation, then you're kind of missing out on the whole thing.
Yes.
Like, I can obviously have Siri do everything with my calendar on my phone and iPad and computer and everything. But if I didn't have a Mac and I had a PC instead, just kind of SOL. I don't even think you can integrate I don't even think you can use a third-party calendar application to read your iCloud calendar. Like, I think you kind of would have to open it up in a browser in order to use it on a PC, which is like kind of dumb, but also not necessarily that surprising. Apple focuses on what they have control over, and they don't care about anything else.
Right. So, anyway, I just thought it was a good marriage for the people using Google and Windows 10 PC at least. So, you have that option, and so and it's not just. What's nice is you actually don't have to sit there, and people that don't talk to your device, you can just bring it up. She has the ability right there on your task bar, or if people still have her on the start bar of Windows, you can just say, what is it, or whatever, type it in, and she'll just bring it up. So that there, too. So you don't have to, if you don't have a mic or don't want to talk to your computer, she still can access it that way.
And that's one of my favorite things about Cortana in Windows 10 is that Cortana in Windows 10 is not as much a digital assistant as it is a integrated whole PC searching and organization utility that you can treat kind of like Spotlight on a Mac, where you use it to search for things, you can use it to look things up and command things and that kind of thing. You've been able to do that with Spotlight for a while. They added Siri, and really all Siri brought with it to the Mac was voice control, which whoop-de-doo, I totally don't use that. And Cortana obviously has the voice control and all of that stuff, and you can, talk to Cortana and activate her just by yelling at her if you want, if you've got it set up.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you don't have to do that. You can just open it up and type and search things. It's got the entire hard drive indexed, and it has all of your services integrated. And, now you can edit your Google Calendar right from there. That's pretty cool. Like, it's a good way to do things and is better than a traditional digital assistant integration would be, I think.
Yeah.
Especially on a computer or
Exactly.
desktop.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, awesome is what I think. Let's move on. Moving on to, this does affect actually not just Microsoft, but a lot of people, because Qualcomm actually just had a conference over in Hawaii.
Yeah.
And
Rough.
rough. And they brought everybody together to talk about a lot of new things that are coming down the line. And Landon can kind of help me with this as well. They did the big thing is the new Snapdragon 845 mobile platform that they announced. And so what I want to do as I bring this up, we can talk all sorts of specs and things, but I wanted to talk more about how this will help average users and what people can look forward to in the future with it, not just us tech enthusiasts like, oh, this is all these big numbers and shebang, but what is this going to bring to everybody, whether it's a mobile device as well as an always connected PC that we've talked about. I think it was last December.
Yeah.
Was really the last time we talked about this. So coming into this, Snapdragon 845 mobile platform. I am going to talk a little bit of things and of specs, and then we can talk what this is bringing, what you're going to look at. The biggest one that they are talking about is obviously on here's the Snapdragon. The mobile platform is engineered with the functionality and features that will allow users to do even more of things with their mobile devices, like camera. They call it the Spectra 280 is what they're calling it. So for a camera, for taking pictures, how fast, the thinking and the process of doing that. So I'm going to go into a little more description of that on here. This is actually coming from the Qualcomm website. So this is coming from them. The Qualcomm Spectra 280 ISP is designed to deliver a premium camera and XR experience. I looked up what XR is. That's their virtual reality, but they call it like extreme. I can't remember exactly.
Extreme reality.
Yeah, it was something like that. It'll probably come up, but it's like their experience.
Some marketer got paid for that.
Yeah, with a high performance capture of up to 60. I'm going to say MP. For some reason, the words coming megapixels to 60 images per second. So video enthusiasts will appreciate the cinema-like quality thanks to Ultra HD premium capture with richer and cooler. And so then it talks about what that is on there a little bit. So that's just better video, better of everything that's on your mobile device. So mobile device, not just meaning phones, but also your tablets or computers or things that are coming with this processor. Also, they talk about this is for the GPU. This is an Adreno 630 visual processing subsystem. What does that mean? It's just a better way that the processor is using the GPU that's on board with it. So you're going to have better games, obviously, or better visuals for what you're using on there. So they say it's about a 30% improvement graphics and video rendering compared to the previous generations. Let's see. Oh, and this is one I thought was pretty neat. The Qualcomm Secure Processing Unit, SPU. They call it the ×20 LTE modem. So this is where we were going to get the gigabit for LTE, your wireless.
Yeah.
So awesome. We like that. Let me see here. So the speeds it actually had down here. I apologize. I should have had this on a different thing here.
1.2 gigabits per second LTE
Yes.
data is what it supports, which nobody has yet.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But Verizon and T-Mobile are both have plans to roll this out in this next year to a good amount of markets. Not just like 2 or 3 here and there, but like most of their markets.
What does this bring to an average user? This is probably more for someone and their cloud storage. Cloud storage upload, because the upload speed is actually about 150. The peak is 150 megabits per second. So this is kind of more for your uploads and your downloads for your obviously pictures can go pretty fast, but your videos, now that things are getting to 4K, that's one thing that they're talking about is this is 4K rendering and the next step for all this stuff. So
my question,
Mhm.
data caps, are those going to increase at the same rate as our speed technology is increasing? Because I have seen no indication that they will.
Doubtful. Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
for
doubtful.
now the carriers are going to use the excuse, "Oh, we have unlimited plans." Yeah, kind
Right,
of.
yeah, but after a certain amount of data usage, they start capping your speed.
Yeah.
So, like,
it's
what's
a
the point
throttle.
of having gigabit 5G LTE when...
I think it's going to be just like any other when there was a new iteration. Like they're calling this the 5G,
Yeah.
obviously. So back
And
when
none
we
of
had
it's
3G,
technically real 5G.
right?
Not
Right.
yet.
Yeah,
Yet.
but remember when 4G was the big new hotness,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's like, to pay an extra $10 to $20, you can have 4G. So I think it's kind of in that lingo, like you'll pay
It's
more,
true.
and then
Yeah.
it's like, hey, with the 5G, your data cap will be this, but if you stick with the 4G, it's still going to be the same.
Yeah.
I think that's where they'll go.
I mean, I hope. I'm just concerned because I remember, like, there were true unlimited plans
Yeah.
back when we had 3G.
Yep.
4G came around, and
That's
they
when they
started
got rid of
they started
those.
throttling, and then they got in legal trouble for that, and so
Yeah.
they killed all of the unlimited plans, and now we have it. You
back.
can expect to be throttled with your unlimited plan
Yeah.
if you go over a certain amount of data.
I think with AT&T, they told me if I go over 22 gigs
Yeah, it's
or
22
something.
gigs
Yeah.
on AT&T. I think 20 to 22 on Verizon, and
Yeah.
like 25 on T-Mobile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's like, with 3G we had actual unlimited. With
Yeah.
4G we don't. Is 5G just going to make it that much worse? Where like, yeah, your speeds are much faster, but your available data is even less now. Like,
Don't know.
I don't know.
Don't know. We'll
We'll
see.
I'm a little worried about
Well,
that.
obviously,
But
they're going to
we'll
make
see.
it benefit for them. They're like, they
It's
got to make
true.
the money. They got to
It's true.
benefit for them so that they can give people. Obviously, they need people to pay them for this so that they can improve their network.
Right. Well, And as long as, like, frankly, this is weird. This is so weird to say. But as long as John Laguerre is in charge of T-Mobile and doing stupid, weird billionaire things with his money, there's probably a good chance that the competition is going to stay pretty hot in the mobile space, and
That's true.
They'll be looking to try and push as close to actual true unlimited as they actually can get to get people onto their networks. So
That's true.
hopefully
True.
that keeps happening.
No,
But
and we need that
you never
for
know.
everybody. The competition that he brings.
It's true.
Like, I think T-Mobile was the first unlimited, and then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
And then all of a
Verizon
sudden, everybody
and
had these
AT&T
new, really
and
good unlimited plans.
the
Yeah,
Sprint. Yeah, Sprint has it.
Sprint
Yeah.
has one now. Yep.
So, yeah. So
Hopefully,
interesting stuff. As we're seeing for average people, that's what we're seeing so far. What you're looking at, what you may be seeing. And so if you want to wait for something like this, you can tell stuff because this is like obviously the new hotness, which there are probably glitches, or they're probably not going to have 5G in certain areas. Like it may be actually in like capital cities. Like,
yeah.
Obviously California will have probably most of it, and then New York, but then the rest of us in other states may not, and there may
Yeah.
be select like for us that are in Utah. What Provo, maybe Salt Lake.
Yeah.
Those
those
two,
would be
yeah,
the
they'll
first
get it.
places.
And I mean, this processor is going to be on every flagship next year, and every flagship Android phone next year. So
Yeah.
even if you don't have the speeds in your market yet, if you have a phone, if you buy a phone the next year or after, you're going to be fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is future proof that way, I guess.
Yeah.
Also, I thought was cool was this will be supporting Bluetooth 5.
Yes, that's the big thing.
Yes, and what does that bring for everybody as Bluetooth 5? Obviously, better speeds,
much better Bluetooth connectivity, much greater distances
yes,
on Bluetooth connectivity, pairing multiple things at the same time, like multiple speakers at the same time to one phone.
yeah. So a smarter.
Yeah, so instead of
Bluetooth.
like right now you can kind of not really do that, where they have mesh networks basically is how they work. So you can connect one speaker to your phone, then connect another speaker to that speaker, and so on and so
Right.
And that's how they get around it right now, and it works. But this is you could connect multiple speakers to the phone,
Right.
rather than have them connect to each other. So you
Then
get
to
a
the
better
phone.
connection and better for speakers and music wise, better sound quality over that connection, which has always been the downside to Bluetooth headphones is the sound quality is not nearly as good as connected headphones.
Right.
So that's another big thing is the sound quality is going to be way better because the transfer speeds are going to be much better.
Yeah.
So in that sense, if you have Bluetooth 5 on a laptop or something like an iPad or something bigger, then the data transfer is going to be a lot quicker too.
You'll be able to watch a movie without feeling like the character's lips are slightly out of sync with the sound the entire time.
Yeah.
That drives me nuts.
So obnoxious. You'll be able to play games and not worry that the latency for your headset is so great that you're sucking. It's not actually lag in the game. It's latency between the audio and your headphones.
Yeah.
The unfortunate bit to this right now is I'm not seeing many accessory makers announcing any plans for Bluetooth 5 in their stuff. I would hope that because it's now going to be widely available in phones that they will start doing that.
I bet they will.
I would hope so. But like I said, I haven't heard anything yet.
But I think with 5 it's to where 4 point, what are we on?
4.1.
Yeah.
1. It's so it's not old, but it's it's cheap to make.
It's cheap,
obviously.
Yeah. And I mean, having this Bluetooth 5 on your phone is going to make using anything with Bluetooth 4 or 4.1 better in and of itself. It's just not going to be all the benefits that you could have.
Right. But I mean, we'll just see what happens with it. Obviously, there's going to be some people that put stuff out there. Obviously, I would honestly probably think Apple would take advantage of it you look at the AirPods and you look at a lot of things that they have and they have for themselves. Of course they take advantage of that.
They haven't actually said anything about it, but I would honestly be kind of surprised if the HomePod didn't ship with Bluetooth 5 capabilities in it.
That could be one of the things that's delaying it.
Yeah.
I hope so.
It could be that they have their own custom rolled version of Bluetooth 4.1 that they're calling a W2 or something like that, the custom silicon, which will be kind of a bridge between Bluetooth 4.1 and Bluetooth 5 because Apple does that. They won't call it Bluetooth because they can't call it Bluetooth because technically it's not the Bluetooth standard. They did their own thing, but it would probably have most of the features of Bluetooth 5. Apple's kind of stupid that way, but it wouldn't surprise me at all if the thing was released and they're all like, look, Bluetooth 5, and you can connect to it with your brand new iMac Pro that also has Bluetooth 5, and you get all of these great things because Bluetooth 5. And then here's a new iPhone SE that has Bluetooth 5 in it, and then all the iPads, those have Bluetooth 5 now. I totally expect all of their devices next year to have Bluetooth 5.
Yeah, and with that, I think that would get the trend rolling to where everyone else would be okay, Apple's doing it.
Yeah,
okay, let's do this.
That usually kicks the accessory makers into high gear.
Yeah.
Except for USB-C.
Evidently.
Which is still really unfortunate.
Yeah. But I mean, it's in a lot higher gear than it would be otherwise.
True, but it's not nearly what I expected because, I mean, we've had USB-C laptops for a year now.
It's because they didn't put it on the phones.
I know.
They left it lightning on the phones.
Anyway,
moving on.
Coming back here, I did say we talked about the LTE, but also the Wi-Fi, the Qualcomm Wi-Fi. It supports the multi-gigabit, the 802.11 AD, which is really good. So for that, it's not so much the phones we'd look at. I was thinking more along the lines of, say, a newer iteration of the new Surface or Surface-like device that people are doing art or some sort of rendering. You get also the ability connected to your network to have the high speeds for your network.
Then you'd finally be able to point at all the people that are all like, why doesn't it have an Ethernet port? And go, because this is faster than Ethernet, okay? Just shut up. Jeez.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. So, because
pill.
I've always been an Ethernet connected type of guy. I've got, very little things that are wireless, just because I have to or something. But this is actually kind of cool. I know there's a lot of people that are like, I don't want no wires.
I know. I would love to do that. I actually was trying to go as wireless as possible because, the ideal of an iMac is one cable. And having to plug a Ethernet cable in the back. That's two cables. Dang it.
No.
But I had way too many wireless broadcasting devices in my house, and I couldn't get my phone to reliably connect to the router because everything else was connected to the router. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I was at one point, my poor little Netgear. It's not even a very nice Netgear. It had 25 clients connected to it,
Holy
just
crap.
devices that I own. And I was like, yeah, I need to start running some wires.
Yeah. Wow. The poor little antenna you got there.
It was sad.
It was sad. I actually have a decent router. I bought, it was a newer one probably about 3 years ago. So it's decent. And
Yeah.
so
Is it AC?
it's AC. So it works pretty good. But,
And that's kind of the thing. Like, whenever we talk about, like, yay, new Bluetooth standard, new Wi-Fi standard, stuff like that, it's all like, that's really cool, but you've got to have both devices on either end supported, otherwise it means nothing. And so that's the thing is, like, yeah, it's like, great, all these devices that are coming with this Qualcomm chip in them are going to have this new Wi-Fi standard, but you got to upgrade your router or it's meaningless.
and I would recommend to people, for the service providers I've had, for example, like Comcast, they try and give you, and also Rise Broadband, I was able to use their router, or they give you an option to rent something. They're not going to be the best. And they're going to be the cheapest possible for obvious reasons. It's cheap and they just want you to rent it. If you're going this way, you're going that route, get your own router, do the research, look at it, and you can get a decent router that can run many things at once and you wouldn't see much of a lag on any of them.
Yeah.
So, just a little hint I wanted to throw out there because some people are like, oh, I just have Comcast to do it, or I have whatever service provider, and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, the biggest problem there is that, like, when they set you up, they might give you something that's pretty good, you know.
For one device.
Well, I mean, it's good for the time that you get it.
Yeah.
And then they won't actually upgrade your equipment ever. Like, just ever. Until, like, 5 or 6 years down the line, you're all like, hey, my internet isn't working very well anymore. And they're like, holy crap, you're still using a DOCSIS 2 modem.
Yeah.
And we're on DOCSIS 3.1 now. Like, okay, maybe we'll replace this thing that you have been paying a rental fee for 5 years.
Don't
Anyways,
calculate how much that is.
Cable companies are the pits.
Yep.
I hate them all.
Anyways, let's backtrack. So yeah, Wi-Fi going to be really great for this. So like we were saying, it's more for the Surface tablets, the Chromebooks, the iPads, the Pros.
It won't be in iPads.
I thought we were maybe not iPad Pros. What was I? MacBook Pro. Sorry.
It
No?
probably won't be in there either.
No?
Apple doesn't really like to use Qualcomm's chips if they don't have to. Like the one piece of
That's what I
dedicated
was thinking.
Qualcomm
Sorry.
hardware that they actually use right now is their LTE modems, and they are trying their darndest to get away from that. So
Gotcha. Well, then I was wrong. I apologize on that. But yep. So that's kind of what I wanted to point out. What was coming from this. So it's just. And also, the big thing that they're talking about is the battery life. Like, processes and things are definitely going to take not as much battery life. So they're like, oh, excellent battery life for... they talked about it, but I'm not seeing what they posted for, like, battery lives or, like, during high processes or whatnot. I haven't looked, so I apologize.
It'll have a combination of high-efficiency cores and high-power cores that it will use... the same way that Apple's chips use them and the same way that the current generation of Qualcomm chips will use them, except I think that current Qualcomm chips have the high-efficiency cores and high-power cores. They're not individually addressable, so you can only address one set at a time.
Right.
The same way that the A10 was with iPhones. And the A11 allows you to address all of them at the same time, and I think that's what they're pushing they're going to be making those kinds of changes as well. So,
which they're talking about, and just for more tech people, the CPU, they said CPU clock speeds up to 2.8 gigahertz, and how many cores, you can have 8 different cores.
Yeah.
And they said it's the Cryo 8 or 385.
Yeah.
The way that's separated is there's 4 of the performance cores at 2.8 and then 4 efficiency cores at 1.8.
So are they actually the same processor cores and they're just clocked lower?
I don't know for sure.
Yeah, it doesn't fully say.
Because
they could have said it maybe in more of the question and whatnot, but I did not see the full thing. So that's what we're looking at. That's what the big thing was. It's just latest, greatest, newest thing that's coming, which is going to change a lot of things for people, because obviously for the new laptops or tablets that are coming out for Android and Windows, and maybe not so much Apple, as we were talking about earlier, just better, and what it means for people.
Yeah.
For users. So
something I wanted to mention with this new chip is what it can do for the camera. We talked a little bit about it, but
Yeah.
it can do video in HDR, 4K, 60 frames per second.
Yes, it does.
And it also supports 480 frames per second slow-mo,
Oh, wow.
which is
I did not
pretty
see
cool.
that.
So that's interesting to me because technically Sony already released a phone that does 960 frames per second.
It's
in slow
true,
motion.
but that's Sony, and they control.
It's true. And
Every
so
camera.
it really makes me wonder, like,
Yeah.
Qualcomm's talking about the improvements to the camera, but how much of that does Qualcomm actually control and how much of it is on the heads of whoever's
Yeah.
putting the device together?
See, this is what I'm thinking. I see that, and then I see the Pixel 2 phones with the Pixel Visual Core process, like custom chips.
Mm-hmm.
Combine those, like this 845 with next year's iteration of the Visual Core chip. Those cameras are going to be ridiculous.
I gotta wonder though, is the next year Pixel, are they even going to be using the Qualcomm like chip to do that stuff? Or are they going to have their own custom
That's
silicon that they're
potentially
using,
true,
just
yeah.
using that because we control it, we've got it better to our liking?
I
It's
still
going to be
see it.
interesting to see.
I still see it kind of doing what it does now, where it's doing a combination of the two. But yeah, the further and further along they get, obviously Google wants to be closer to what Apple's doing and just have all their own crap inside their phone.
Yeah.
But I don't see that happening next year.
Which is the great way to do it, because like that's like one of my favorite things about Qualcomm's update cycle is you see what the iPhone is doing in September, which means you know what exactly pretty much what Qualcomm's going to be doing about 6 months later.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily to say that they just look at it and then like, okay, let's design it, because it takes more than 6 months to design a processor.
Yeah.
They're working in parallel to each other toward the obvious end conclusion of this technology. It's just that because Apple doesn't have as many hoops to jump through as Qualcomm does, they can get it out faster. They're designing it themselves.
Yep.
So it's just kind of a funny quirk about the way both companies are developing their silicon.
Yeah.
True. So those are the items I wanted to touch on that weren't gaming based on there. So let's go ahead and let's move over to Caleb. He's got quite a bit of Apple news. Hopefully more news than rumors, right? I called him out. No.
There's some news.
I'll bring it on.
Okay.
Let's do this.
Apple rumors. Okay, so this is my favorite rumor of the week. Apple is rumored to be introducing reversible emoji next year.
Oh, what?
Yay!
What is
Basically,
reverse?
just like
That was amazing.
I was thinking really hard.
that was the correct response. by the way.
Okay. Please,
The
please
response.
explain.
The response that I had written down was okay. It's basically think to yourself, okay, what's a directional emoji like the bus? If the bus emoji is currently driving in one direction, they're going to give you the option to flip it and have it be driving the other direction. Woohoo!
Oh,
It's kind of dumb. Anyways, so moving on.
that's
Or if you're walking that way, you could be walking the other way.
Right, exactly. It's not
It's-
a feature. It's just
yeah.
like it got news, it got press coverage this past week because Apple, I guess, and I just had to bring it up because it made me laugh.
humans. What is wrong with
it's
us?
a strange thing.
Emoji, Wes.
yeah.
Come on.
I heard there was a movie that was
Oh,
an emoji
dear,
movie.
There is.
I heard it
haven't
was
seen it.
terrible.
Yeah.
I
Like, I heard
I
it
didn't
was
see it. I didn't
legitimate
want
poop.
to. But okay, let's continue.
Yeah,
I don't want to
let's
go. I don't
move
want to go
on.
down that rabbit hole.
Actual news.
Ooh.
The Amazon Prime Video app has finally launched on Apple TV.
Awesome.
It's there. You can do it, and it does support 4K streaming and HDR, which
Sweet.
the new 4K Apple TV supports. Obviously.
Question. Now, is that so? It goes from Amazon. Does Amazon allow you to download, like how Netflix does, or do you have to fully stream?
Nobody allows you to download anything to the Apple TV.
Oh, I don't
That's-
own one, so that's the question
that's
I was
not
asking.
an
So
option.
I apologize.
Yeah, the thing only has like 32 gigs of storage, and so you can't really fit a whole bunch of stuff on there. And it doesn't have a battery, and it has to be connected to Wi-Fi in order for it to do anything. So
Ooh.
you kind of just don't use an Apple TV without a network connection, basically.
Right.
What it amounts
Or
to.
a data cap.
Yeah. And that's kind of the thing. 4K streaming, data caps. But
Ooh.
that's why I
Blow
don't have a
those out of the
4K.
water.
That's why I don't have a 4K Apple TV. It does also, so the Amazon Prime Video app does support integration with the TV app. like full integration. So it monitors your up next and what stuff you have in there. So you can get that kind of like cable integrated experience with this app in addition to the other ones that support that app. So there it is. All of you Amazon Prime subscribers that have Amazon Video, cool.
There you go.
You can access it on your Apple TV now. As long as it's a fourth or fifth generation Apple TV. So last year's or this year's.
There you go.
Basically. No, wait, 2 years ago. The old one's been around for 2 years. Anyways, moving on. This is kind of news. Kind of a rumor, but it's supported by actual evidence. So I'm going to say news. It did not come from Apple though. It is possible that Apple has been slowing down older phones' processors via software for years, in fact. And this is a rumor that people have been saying for a very long time, like every time I update iOS...
Let me get my tinfoil hat, please.
There you go. Put it on. Every time I update iOS, it feels like my phone gets slower. Apple's slowing it down to try and force me to upgrade to a new phone. Yada, yada, yada. Apple isn't doing that, just so you know. Yes, I know it sounds like I'm contradicting myself.
Doing that.
No. Software changes over time, becomes more complex. The hardware in your phone does
not.
Bing, 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 bing. What do we have for him, Johnny?
It turns out
right?
Time just keeps moving and stuff keeps changing, but unfortunately your phone does not.
You know, it's amazing how often I have to explain this to people.
I know. It's like...
like the same people sometimes. I have to explain it every time they get an update. Yep. My phone's so much slower. It's like, buy a new phone.
Yeah. It's
sorry.
Like, I mean, there's one of two things that could be happening there. Either, no, it's not, and you're just perceiving it that way because you're kind of crazy. Or two, yes, your phone is slower with the new software than it was with the old software. It's because the new software has new features, has a lot more stuff that takes advantage of newer hardware that has been released.
And possibly
and you have a
lot
5-year-old phone.
Right.
And newer calculations that's in the background that's going to be
and
taking.
And that's the thing,
it.
like, you know, you start doing augmented reality stuff in iOS, for instance, there's only a few phones that can actually support that because it requires you to have a processor that is this powerful. And the older processors that can do it are going to be a slightly worse experience than the newer, faster, better processors that can handle it better. Meaning that the A11, which was designed for that kind of thing, is going to be the best experience. So that's just software development. That's life. This is why you have to update parts in your computer as well over time. It's just stuff keeps improving, and as we improve stuff, the older stuff gets left behind. Now, that being said, that is not what this is. That's not even what we're talking about. Apple is using the software, using iOS, and they have for years to deliberately slow down some older phones. Reason being, they're trying to save battery life as the phone ages. They want to make sure that you can always get a full day of usage out of your phone. And so as the software, as iOS detects your battery deteriorating, it's going to slow down your processor and throttle it so that it doesn't use the battery up as fast. So basically, Apple's just trying to make it so that you can use your phone for longer. The opposite of what everyone has been claiming for years. They're using software to try and make it so that your phone will last longer because, gosh dang it, that's what Apple does. So, sticking to an old version of iOS won't actually fix this. Old versions of iOS do this too. If you want to fix it and you don't want to replace your entire phone, replace your battery. Once you've got a new battery in there, battery's not deteriorating, iOS will stop throttling your processor, it's back up to where it was before. That doesn't mean that it's not going to continually slow down over time just as iOS gets more complicated. But it was just kind of an interesting little piece of news, but it's kind of...
You know, that was not going the way I thought it would have when you were saying it. So it actually, I get it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's a feature to try and make the older phones last longer in a usable state and make it so that people can continue to use them for years, just years and years.
That's cool. That's really cool of him. And basically, like you said, all you got to do is just replace the battery, and it'll detect and be like, oh, new, sweet.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it monitors how many charges are on the battery, and kind of like how long does it take the battery to charge, how long does it take it to discharge over time, how has that changed from when the device was brand new, and it uses a lot of analytics involved in that kind of stuff to predict how much time the battery has left, how much life the battery has left in it. Whether it's at 100% brand new or whether it's at 50% because it's like 4 years old. And, that's and it does its best to try and give you a full day's use. Like, not just the phone will technically last for a day, but oh my gosh, if you play a game, you're hosed. It'll detect and it'll be like, oh geez, okay, this person uses their device this way. We're going to try and throttle it this much so that they can do what they want to do and still get a day's worth of use out of it. So,
okay, so here's the next question. How much is it to replace your battery? Do you know?
it depends on the phone.
Okay.
It's usually depends on if you want to do it yourself. If you're willing to do it yourself, you can get a new battery for usually like $50 or $60.
Okay.
You'll have to go to iFixit and get their repair tools kit as well, just to dismantle the phone and put it back together again. That usually costs like $20, $25 or something like that. If you do it on an iPhone 7 or an iPhone 8, you're going to be like getting rid of the waterproofing on the device. So it's no longer going to be water resistant if you do that. If you take it into an Apple store or an Apple authorized reseller and have them do the replacement for you, you maintain your battery life and you actually get a warranty on the new battery. And it probably costs like $150 to $200 ish.
Which, depending on the phone that you're doing it to, it's not worth it.
It's true. Yeah.
Depending on how old your phone is.
So just get a new phone.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yep.
Okay.
And, if you're all like, well, geez, $200, that's a lot cheaper than $700. Yeah, but the iPhone SE is $350. So just get one of those. They're great. They're fantastic. So anyways, it's just, there's been so many conspiracy theories about Apple throttling older phones. And I mean, yes, technically they do, but not for malicious reasons to try and force you to upgrade. They're actually throttling it to try and help you use it for longer. So there you go. For once, I can actually finish off this particular segment by saying, good guy, Apple. Okay.
Fair enough. You win.
Speaking of Apple's $1,000 phone, dang it, Apple.
You just took it away.
I know. Yeah. It's so bad. So the iPhone X shipping times are now down to the normal couple days when you order the thing. It's available for pickup in store pretty much anywhere. It's before Christmas, so I was right.
I finally went and actually played with the phone.
Ooh. And?
I've constantly heard that the user interface is much more intuitive and easy to use than you think it would be. Because that was the big thing for me. I was like, it's completely different.
It is. Yep.
And it's going to take a lot of getting used to. Nope. I mean, It is very different.
Yeah.
But man, is it easy to use. And does it make so much sense. It is like, I was like, oh, this is amazing.
Nice. That's good.
And I found out, kind of by accident and on purpose, that I don't know. I have an iPad mini, and it's the second generation, so it's not the newest, obviously. But it has the latest update to iOS 11.
Yep.
And I swiped up from the bottom just to see what would happen. And it basically, it doesn't go home.
Right.
But it brings up your recent apps.
Yeah, your multitasking screen.
Which is what it does in iOS on the new iPhone.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I've gotten used to doing that on my iPad, so I think that using the iPhone X would be like, oh, yeah, it's perfectly natural because I'm already used to that on one device.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I still haven't gone and played with it yet.
I really enjoyed the experience for the 2 or 3 minutes that I was playing with it. And I didn't try out a whole bunch of stuff. Like, obviously, I can't try out Face ID. I did try to do the Animoji stuff, but it wasn't great because that's something that gets better as you use it more.
Yeah. It has to, like, if you do the face training on it, it automatically gets better.
Yeah.
So
and I didn't do that, obviously. Yep. So it was just, it worked, but it was kind of a bad experience because of that.
Yeah.
But the phone itself was, I mean, it's iOS, so you know what you're getting into anyways. But I didn't mind it. It was nice.
Well, cool.
That is cool.
It would be the phone that I would buy if I bought a new phone right now.
Yeah.
Probably even over the Pixel 2. Which is saying a lot.
That is quite saying a lot.
Because when you think about it, I mean, the 2XL already cost $850 at the base. So I'm like,
extra 150.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd be torn because initially with the initial reviews of the Pixel 2 XL, I was like, okay, I'll buy the iPhone 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
But now it's like, ooh, maybe not.
The release models are not as
the
bad.
actual phone is not bad. Anyways, side tangent.
Yeah. Moving on.
Cool.
Moving back.
Okay, last piece of Apple specific news. Apple bought Shazam.
Yeah,
So
weird.
there you go. It's not terribly surprising to me, I guess, and I'm kind of thinking that Shazam is going to continue to maintain their like platform agnostic music
Yeah.
identification
Well,
system.
I mean, Siri used Shazam anyways, didn't
Yes,
it? So, I
Siri
mean,
has
it's
been
not
using
going to be
Shazam for
that big
years.
of a change.
yeah,
Didn't most of did Android?
Google, I mean, Shazam is an app,
yeah,
so you can use it no matter what. But if you ask Siri what you're listening to, it'll use Shazam. Google uses its own, as
yeah.
far as I know, uses its own thing, and it works well. I mean,
Yeah,
it doesn't have
but-
all the same features as Shazam
Right.
does.
that's
But-
what Shazam does.
But
That's the whole point.
that's why you use Shazam. You
Yeah.
can use it on a TV commercial to get more info on whatever you're watching, which
Yes,
is
kinda
kind of
weird.
cool. But I'm like, I don't care.
yeah,
Yeah, with I thought it was Shazam. I guess I just bulleted it in, but I've got with Cortana when I bring her up. I'm assuming I can ask her, but in the corner there's a music button
Yeah, and
that
that's
I'll
how
usually just hit, and then
that's how
she's
the
like,
Google
"Oh, I'm
Assistant
listening."
is. Yeah.
So I'm wondering. I didn't know. I assumed it was Shazam, so but I didn't.
and
I
it
don't know.
might be. Shazam has partnerships with a lot of different people to do stuff like that,
Yeah.
in addition to their own dedicated app on everyone's
Yeah.
platform.
And it may just be that they're using their recognition service rather than everything.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because Shazam, like we said, does a whole lot of crap.
Yes.
Okay, that made sense.
But yeah, so officially owned by Apple now. Shazam's integration in Siri has always been fantastic. Like, if you own an iPhone and you haven't ever like been listening to the radio and been like, "Oh, what is this song?" Just ask Siri, listen to this song, tell me what it is. And if you've got Apple Music, then you can open it up and listen to it in Apple Music right there. It's a really nice integration. I expect that integration will probably just get tighter, and I really doubt that Shazam's services, as far as the other platforms are concerned, are really going to change.
It's no longer going to be on Android. No, it'll still be there.
Yeah.
I fully expect that to continue to be the case.
That would be silly for them to cut that partnership off. I
Right.
mean,
They'd be
Right.
losing money.
yeah,
I think that Apple is probably buying Shazam because they're using Shazam. Like, they have the functionality of Shazam via a partnership with Shazam.
and another game show.
I mean, this is generally what Apple does anyways. They use someone's hardware. They'll buy that company.
It's true. They kind of do that.
Yeah,
I suspect they're probably buying it because they want access to Shazam's machine learning algorithms.
Yeah.
Stuff that's proprietary, that's been patented,
makes
trademarked.
sense.
They want access to that. They want to use it for other stuff other than music identification. You know,
Makes
like
sense.
facial recognition and that kind of thing. The stuff that the A11 Bionic chip was built for.
Better voice recognition for multiple users on a HomePod.
Could be. Yep. There's a lot of things that they could potentially use that stuff for. So I bet that's why they bought Shazam.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yep.
And my last piece of tech stuff is me and my wife got an Echo Dot over last week. Not voluntarily.
It was gifted to you.
It was gifted.
Nice.
So it was my wife just recently started a new job, and she started just in time for the Christmas party.
Nice.
And we went to the Christmas party, and it was a nice, good food. And then they gave everyone a gift bag on the way out and had some ice cream in it, an ice cream scoop, and a shirt, and some nice mugs, and an Echo Dot. And we're like, the heck?
Okay.
That was a lot nicer than we were expecting. Evidently, last year they gave everyone, oh gosh, what did they give everyone? It was
Fire
something.
phone.
It was something else.
Fire-
No.
They
No,
went back
no.
to 2012
It
and
wasn't
found a
that
bunch
bad.
of them.
The, two years ago, they gave everyone a Fitbit, and I can't remember. It was something else like that last year, and so this year it was an Echo Dot. So, it was free. I'm not gonna whatever.
Yeah,
so
why
we
not?
took it home, hooked it up, set it up, been playing with it. And I have a brief review from the perspective of someone who is primarily an Apple ecosystem user with a foothold in the Windows space, who has absolutely no part of him that is at all interested in Amazon's ecosystem. My impressions of the Echo Dot.
Let's hear it.
So currently it's sitting in our kitchen. It has yet to make itself useful. We don't actually use any of the music services that it supports. We may set up Pandora. The speakers in it are decent, so whatever. Pandora in the kitchen. We don't usually shop on Amazon all that much. And when we do, it's definitely not like, oh, we got to get paper towels. Let's get them from Amazon or something like that. We don't, the stuff that we buy repeatedly over and over and over again, we don't get from Amazon. So when we shop on Amazon, we like to be able to research and look at the options
Yeah.
and that kind of thing. We don't have any smart home stuff to control with it, and we don't really have any plans to get any. Using it to quickly set stuff like a kitchen timer is nice, but it's not actually any more convenient than my phone, because my phone is usually sitting on the counter right behind me, and I can just tell Siri to do that. So, okay. Alexa isn't actually any better at answering random questions than Siri is. Possibly worse. Like, I asked her a few things, and she gave me answers very similar to what Siri would do. She just did a search on Google or whatever. And then there were a couple that that Siri totally got that Alexa didn't. So good job. We might move it to our bedroom because it does have a headphone jack so that you can plug in external speakers to it. And I've got a speaker dock in there that is much higher quality speakers. I mean, the speakers in the Echo Dot are pretty good for the size that the device is, but plug it into some nicer speakers that has like a whole bunch of skills that are like relaxing music and that kind of thing, white noise machines and stuff like that. That might be nice just to have in the bedroom while you're trying to go to sleep, that kind of thing. But I think my favorite thing, top it all off, we were watching TV, and we're cord cutters, so everything we watch is streamed through the Apple TV. And we're watching, and that, means that we see a lot of a very specific kind of ad. And we're watching, and an Amazon ad came up for the Fire TV, in which a dude issued several commands to his Fire TV using the voice prompt. And the frickin' Echo Dot chirped up in the background. I didn't quite catch that. Could you repeat? Like, and I'm just sitting there like, Amazon, that's your ad. Like, jerks.
Wow.
You put commands in your ad. Like, anyways, it was really super rude. And
that's how we got to
annoyed me.
100 billion.
Anyways, that was kind of dumb. So, my final thought, the device is way more highly targeted than Amazon admits that it is.
Oh, yeah.
It is for cheaply controlling smart home gadgets and quickly ordering stuff from Amazon. Those are the things that it is for. If you don't do those things, don't buy one. Just,
it's not worth it.
There's no reason. It's literally, it's just sitting on our kitchen counter. I walk past it, like I have been walking past it for days, and I'm a tech person. Like, if I can find a reason to use something, like I have a freaking $80 Windows tablet hanging on my fridge just so that I can run a Star Trek LCARS emulator and walk past the thing and feel like I'm in the medical bay doing like just punch and stuff. It's totally goofy. It's totally useless. But if there is a use for a piece of technology, I will figure out what the heck it is
and use it.
And I can't, like, I'm willing myself to try and figure out some way to use this thing. But other than just randomly setting timers every time I walk past the thing, I got nothing. So,
well, it's a good, interesting perspective. I mean, there's a lot of people
Yes.
that are Apple's users that are in that ecosystem.
Yep. And that's the thing. Like, I'm totally not in the target of this device.
Right.
Like I said, if you've got smart home devices that you want to control on the cheap from many different rooms, the Echo Dot is great. It's inexpensive. You can buy a bunch of them, and you can control your smart home devices with them. If you order a whole bunch of stuff from Amazon and you want to quickly be able to order laundry detergent and that kind of thing, cool. Having an Echo Dot downstairs so that you can just kind of yell at it when you run out of laundry detergent and then not worry about it, that's great. If you are not one of those two people, then you don't need this thing. Just don't get one. Especially considering you can get an $80 Windows tablet that has a screen and that has Cortana on it that will actually, like, I just discovered this because I don't know, I wasn't thinking about it for the year that I've had that thing, but I can yell at that thing and tell Cortana to do stuff, and she'll do it just the same way as the Echo Dot does it almost as well. I just need to plug in some external speakers because the one on the tablet sounds like crap. Yeah. But it's, and that one, like, I can install iTunes on that. I might be able to control Apple Music with Cortana on that device.
You probably could.
So,
and technically, soon, you'll get the skill for Amazon's assistant on Cortana.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
And then there wouldn't be any advantage to the Echo Dot. So I don't know. It's a much more highly targeted device. It still makes sense in a few circumstances. It's just, if you look at Amazon's ads, they make it seem like it's got much more broad appeal than it really does. So,
oh yeah, they want to push it.
Oh, of course,
obviously. And
of
then
course.
I've heard other things from other people, but yeah, right now, I wouldn't see any. I mean, I know this sounds weird. I'm in the Microsoft ecosystem, but I barely use Cortana.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I tried to find an excuse because the Harman Kardon speaker is actually on sale. It's like $100.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to my wife about it. I was like, okay, we don't really use Cortana, but would we see an advantage to this if we have it in our kitchen? The way our kitchen is, it's in the middle where you put it, and then it's actually in the living room, kitchen, and you can still hear it from the bedrooms and stuff where we're at. And I'm like, my only appeal to it was that my daughter could go and say, Cortana, play Trolls music or Christmas, and then. But that's kind of, and so it's the same thing. Like, I barely use Cortana, but I see the features and things like that. But I'm like, man, I have no desire for the Amazon one. But it's
a very targeted device, and that's the gist of it. If you are one of those people that could use an Echo, like that I just described, cool. If you don't have one already, you should definitely check it out. The Echo Dot is cheap. Speakers sound good. Mic is fairly receptive. It's easy to set up. All that stuff. But if you aren't one of those people, this device is not for you. Don't listen to Amazon's ads. Don't buy one.
So can you set it up to not link to? Okay, so for example, can I just set it up and just be basically a music player?
You have to sign into it with an Amazon account in order to set the thing up.
Okay.
You have to. You can turn it off from inside the companion app on a smart device. You can turn off like being able to order stuff from Amazon. You can shut that off and just give it access to like basic Google searches and calendar notifications and that kind of thing. Okay. So if you have Spotify or Pandora or something like that you use a lot, you can hook it up with one of those and you can have it play your music.
Okay.
And that's probably what we're going to do with it. It'll basically just be a radio that we can yell at. Which is fine.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, like that. It was free. If I paid for it, I would be disappointed, but it was free, so
it's
I don't
free.
really care.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, cool. Is that everything?
Yes, that is it.
Awesome. I believe we have a little more Google news over here on my left.
Yes.
Take it away.
We do. Okay. So, biggest thing, as of it happened the day after we recorded last week. I mentioned last week the security update was coming.
Yes.
But also, Android 8.1 was made official last week on the 5th, the day after we recorded.
Oh, nice.
So that was convenient,
Yeah, right after.
So I downloaded it on my phone, and we've mentioned some of the stuff that's coming with this when the developer previews were out and everything, so I'm not going to go into too much detail. Some of the things that it does that I did want to mention is just some little UI tweaks that I like. Like now, depending on the background of your phone, when you scroll down, your notification shade in your quick settings is now dark instead of white, which is kind of cool. And same with the app drawer is dark instead of white, and all the folders on your home screen are dark instead of white. Depending on what your background of like your wallpaper on your phone is, it'll transition to kind of match,
so,
which is really cool.
That is cool. Is it still a flat background color, or is it like a translucency sort of thing where it's just picking up on what's behind it?
Well, it is sort of translucent.
Okay.
Like you can still see through it, but it's not picking up that. It's like because before it was noticeably white and see-through.
Right. So
this is like noticeably black and
Yeah. Okay.
So it's like legitimately changing the color of the UI and stuff.
Right.
One feature that I really, really like is in your quick settings panel. If you have like headphones connected via Bluetooth, it shows battery.
Hey.
Now, it doesn't show like a set number in the quick settings. It just shows like a little icon with how full the battery bar is, basically. But if you click onto it and go fully into your Bluetooth settings, then it gives you a percentage for that, which is both of them are really handy.
Yep,
that's awesome.
Yep.
I mean, you like my headphones, all they say is battery high or battery medium or battery low. It doesn't give me crap. So this gives me way more detail than even the app that I have for my headphones doesn't give me very much information. So I like that feature a lot.
That's awesome.
So those are the two things that I noticed and like the most out of the update. Obviously, there's a lot more bug fixes. It's a little smoother, just general things that are always there. And there's other things that we've talked about in the past that are there. So if you want to know more, Google it. Basically.
Nice.
Anyways, as of today, the Google Home Max is now available for purchase.
Yay.
And the places I've seen it are Best Buy, Verizon, Walmart, and the Google Store. And it's for $400. So, I mean, basically, if you are interested in the smart home stuff, like we were talking about with the Echo Dot, only you are in the Google ecosystem, and you want something with a really good speaker, then this is what you want.
Yep.
Because that's what it's going to be. It's going to be Google Assistant into a really, really nice speaker.
Yep.
Nice.
So,
cool.
Yeah. That's pretty much all I had.
It was very, very
That's
thorough.
That's good, because I
eventful
actually had a bunch of stuff, so it, like, balanced. Google must have known.
Yeah.
They knew. It's all like, no, Caleb's going to have a bunch of crap to talk about. So.
I do just remember there is one more thing I wanted to talk about.
Oh,
Good
one
job.
more thing.
Good.
Google's...
You should have saved it till the very end.
You should.
Well. Google has pushed out the AR stickers to Pixel and Nexus
I
devices.
did see that. Yep.
I tried it out. It's AR stickers. It does have Star Wars stuff, so I could use BB-8 or the new Dark Side version. I can't remember the name.
BB-9E.
BB-9E and a Stormtrooper and stuff like that. And then there were some Stranger Things characters and just,
Fun
some of that
stuff.
type of stuff there. But it's AR stickers.
It's
They're
kind
kind
of
of fun.
But it's kind of a goofy
But it's
concept.
kinda stupid.
It's like, whatever.
It's just, and it's built right into the Google cameras, so you just swipe over to your menu. There's a little thing there that says AR stickers, and then you click on it, and then you drag and drop basically whatever you want in a certain spot. So that's a thing, and it's
That's a
there.
thing.
If you care about that. So,
Yay!
yeah, that's all the Google news that I have for this
That
week.
was a good one more thing.
Yeah.
Stickers.
Stickers.
Awesome.
I mean, for all the shameful things Apple has done, they have not yet resorted to doing stickers as a one more thing.
But they are doing reverse emojis.
But that was a press release.
That was a press. Oh my
They
god!
haven't actually-
This
it's
was
a rumor,
press release,
technically.
but actually,
It's
I don't
true.
even think they made a press release. I think it's just they
It's just
pushed
there.
it out.
Yeah.
It's there.
It happened.
Someone noticed it.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and go into some gaming news, shall we?
Woo.
I'll go ahead and do one of my favorite things that have come out or was announced. Sea of Thieves arrives March 20th.
Yay.
You can now pre-order Sea of Thieves.
Yay.
Oh, so cool.
It's a good game.
It really is. So what's really cool is if you actually go and look at the new trailer, they added a bunch of stuff and they put things in the trailer for you to see. They didn't really announce and say, oh, this is in it, or this is it. They're just like, watch the trailer. And there's some pretty cool things. Did you see it, Caleb?
I didn't actually see it, no.
It was quite interesting. Ghosts, and there's actual captain skeletons and a crew, a whole crew of skeletons.
Yeah.
And there was a shot near the end when you pull up on a boat to an island. All of a sudden, a skull appeared and like this whole like curse thing. I'm like, yay!
Well, that's good because they needed more content.
And then they go
like,
through like with
stuff
people
like that.
and obviously the customizations. They went through and showed a bunch of different customizations for your pirate,
Good.
different hats, different things.
Yeah.
They did show that if you do pre-order, you actually get the Black Dog Pack, which is unique clothing and items with spectacular design is what they call it.
Yes.
So it's pretty cool. What they've decided for, and this is in the U.S., is $59.99. So this is one of the big things for Xbox or Windows 10 is if you buy it for either or, you get it for both, and you can play it anywhere. So, excuse me. What that means that whether you're on PC or Xbox, you can play it with anybody. Caleb and I have played Sea of Thieves probably about twice now together.
Yeah.
And he's on his PC, and I'm on my Xbox One X, 110. And Scorpio. Anyway, and it just works. It works great.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it was so fun. But the key thing I think is like when you ask somebody, hey, what button do I push
It's
for
still
this?
the best.
It is horrible. So like when I talk to Caleb,
X. Push X.
no, it is. It literally like I'm like, okay, the button that I would push is the one that I have used to jump, or the one I would use for this is that button. It's
Yep.
so funny.
It's kind of obnoxious, but I mean, basically, that just means that if you're trying to learn the game and the person you have who is trying to teach you the game is on another platform, you need to sit down before you actually start playing the game in the options menu and go through all the key bindings and make sure you know what they are, because the person talking to you will not be able to help.
Now, in Gears of War 4, they actually have an icon. If they're on the PC, it shows a little PC on their icon, so you kind of know if you're not talking to them. But I don't know how they'll do it here, obviously.
Yeah,
we were in the alpha.
We have no idea.
They're going to release a beta, and then obviously it's coming out in March.
And we get access to the closed beta. I'm excited about that.
It's
without
so
having
cool.
to pre-order. Do the people who pre-order get access to the closed beta? I want to say yes.
Yes. So when pirates who pre-order digitally or retail will receive exclusive access to the pre-release closed beta.
Yeah. Yep. So that should be fun.
Yes.
So all of you people out there should pre-order so that you can come and play Sea of Thieves with me and Wes.
It's so fun.
Because we're going to be in that closed
try
beta.
and dominate our ship.
Try.
Dude,
Try.
we're so good. It's so
Except
awesome.
for those turds that were sitting at the dock
my
and
gosh.
cannonballed the snot out of us as soon as we pulled up. And I couldn't do anything about it because I'd just had a bucket full of vomit thrown on my face. And,
Oh yeah, I was like, hey,
and
check this
Wes
out.
was drunk
Blech.
off his rocker, and so we're both sitting there. I can't see anything. Wes can't
Dude.
control anything.
I had him. Well, no, it was because I was holding a cursed chest. When you hold to take a chest, it was cursed, but it made you drunk. So you're like sloshing back and forth, and it's like I can't. I'm trying. I can't. And it. Oh my gosh, it's so fun.
Yeah.
Good
No,
stories.
It's a good game.
Good stories.
It's a good game. And that's the thing. Like, so far, the game has had no stories of any kind. Like, it has these little quests, and you're basically just treasure hunting.
Riddles, solving riddles.
Yeah, and that's like whatever, but it's a great game because you're in there with a group of other people and, like, just doing goofy, stupid things and having fun. You're
Also-
making your own stories, and it's a blast.
Also, in the trailer, it also showed a kraken eating a ship.
Oh, good. That's stress I needed in my life.
Yes. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's a great
so
game.
cool.
It's going to be super fun.
Also with this, they did announce, or not announce, but they're doing for lots of these big games, they always do like a wireless controller.
Mm.
Like Gears of War came out with one that had like slash marks in it, and it was red, and it was cool. They've done also another Gears one. They've done a couple. They did a soccer one. FIFA. They did that. That was ridiculously expensive, but anyway,
It is FIFA.
it is FIFA.
EA.
But on here, this is one I actually looked at. I'm not one to buy these controllers, but this looks so cool. Sea of Thieves came out with a limited edition one. Now this is $74.99. Normally it's $69.99 for a controller, and then $20 off if you get sometimes a brochure or Black Friday deal or something.
Right.
But this is cool because when you get this, the controller comes with the exclusive Ferryman clothing set for your Sea of Thieves character, 14-day Xbox Live Gold trial, and 14-day Game Pass. Let me blow this up so you guys can see, but this is the controller. Landon's yawning right now.
That is really cool.
I don't look at
actually.
if you look, it's really cool. It's the shades, but if you look at where the joysticks, it's a compass, and it shows
Yeah.
compass, and then the skull of the Sea of Thieves is on there. And then if you look at the back part, it's actually gold for the triggers. And so it's really cool. Like
Yeah, that is
I like
pretty
the
dope,
design. If
actually.
you guys want to look, where I pulled this up from, this is from xboxwire.com, and then obviously they have that. But if you go to the Sea of Thieves article for the pre-release, it'll have the whole thing on there. And the controllers on there, the trailers on there, so you can look and see all the different types of things that come with it. And it's just cool. Like, it's pretty exciting. This is one that I actually decided to pre-order because
Yeah.
lots of times you don't want to do that because the game could come out really bad, but I've played the alpha. I
Yeah.
enjoy it, and it's rare, and I want to support them, so that's
Yeah.
why I'm doing it.
Yep.
But
It's
so
probably
cool.
going to be my one full price game of the year next year because I only do that once a year.
yeah,
Oh, crap. I did it twice this year. Shoot. Breaking my own rules.
What'd you get
Oh,
twice?
Man.
So they were both indie games, so they were both cheaper. So that's my excuse.
oh,
But
that's an excuse.
Divinity
They're-
Original Sin
they're
2 and
Kind of full
Hellblade
price.
there you go.
were both. Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, it was 40.
Technically full price.
Yeah.
But yeah.
They were both $30 actually. So I guess all said and
That's
done,
one full
that
price
adds
game.
up to one full price game. Nice. I'll
One
take
full
it.
price big box game.
Right.
So, yep, that's really cool. So if you want to get into this Sea of Thieves fun, or you have been, just invite your friends, whether they have a PC or Xbox. It is so fun. That's one thing I wanted to talk about. That's kind of my highlight for the games. And I know Kayla probably has a little bit more on the video game rewards. I know a lot of companies did. I know Xbox, they had a bunch of deals on the games that were announced. Like I saw Like Thimbleweed Park was like cheap for like $5 or $10.
Yeah.
Wolfenstein was like $20 off.
Yep.
All the new ones are off. I mean, there was just
bunch of
deals
sales.
everywhere. And this is on the Xbox side because
There were for the PC too.
I'm
yeah.
assuming there was on there. I do know that there were a few games that are on the PC for Windows 10. Train Simulator? No. What is it called?
Goat Simulator?
No, it's like a train. I'll look it up. Well, when Caleb's talking, but there is one. There was Injustice 2 is now on the PC.
Mm-hmm.
They got a bunch of other stuff that's on there. It's so cool. Anyway, Caleb, why don't you take it away?
All right. So yes, I do have some news about the Game Awards, but I'm going to talk about the Indie Game Spotlight of the Week first.
Okay.
So this week it is Northgard, which is a Norse-themed RTS real-time strategy game from Shiro Games, is the studio and publisher. It is currently in early access on Steam for $20 for Windows. There's an official release is slated for early 2018, so this is supposed to be coming out officially here in the next couple of months. And it's actually really interesting with games that are in early access. You can go and read the reviews to get an idea of how accurate that actually is, that release date. The reviews in this one, it has been getting progressively better. You read the recent reviews, they're all like, oh, they've added all this stuff and this stuff and this stuff. They're refining it. It's way better optimized than it used to be. That means they actually are getting close to a release. So we're hoping sometime in the next couple of months here. What this game is Age of Empires style strategy with a bit of city builder-esque mechanics thrown in. That means that the emphasis is on resource management as opposed to build order, like in something like StarCraft, which means it's a slower, more deliberate style of play that is slower paced and uses the emphasis is more on territory than it is on just spewing units as fast as you can. For players like me who have a slow APM, which is actions per minute, I know what it means. I'm terrible at it. But that's like one of the metrics that you use to kind of rate StarCraft players is actions per minute. How quickly can they make effective decisions? And good StarCraft players memorize build orders, and they get into a game and immediately they have the first 15 things that they're going to do. It's rote. They run through it by habit, and there's very little adaptation in the early part of the game and that kind of thing. So this is very different. Age of Empires style of play focuses more on how you're managing your resources and on how you're building up your base, and it takes a lot longer. And what that means is that you kind of have to respond a little bit, because like if you're playing StarCraft, every time you boot into a game, you start a new map, your command center goes here, you've got your minerals right there, and 2 Vespene geysers on either side.
Yep.
Every time. That's how every map is in multiplayer StarCraft. And so it's the kind of thing where, like, this is very different. Every time you boot in, you're in a slightly different place. The resources around you are different. You kind of have to adapt to it as you go. So
Interesting.
It makes the game a lot slower. And if you're familiar with older real-time strategy games like Age of Empires, that's more of what this is going to be like. It's what I prefer. Frankly, I would much rather play a game like this. I have a terrible APM. I suck at professional style multiplayer StarCraft. I'm just terrible. Whereas
those guys make anybody feel terrible
it's true,
about themselves.
But even just like getting onto like the multiplayer ladder in StarCraft 2, I'm just terrible. I'm so bad. Like I can't do anything. But Age of Empires, I'm not half bad. I'm actually okay.
That one's enjoyable.
One of the things that this adds to kind of that standard formula that Age of Empires popularized is random events. So basically what those are is stuff like blizzards and that kind of thing that actually affect the outcome of like your farms. If you have a really bad winter or something like that, your farms aren't going to produce as much food, which adds an element of unpredictability to the game world, which makes it feel, again, a little bit more real as opposed to you've got your 6, mineral deposits over here and your 2 Vespene geysers and everything is the same every time. So that's an interesting thing I haven't actually ever seen in an RTS before. The graphics are really nice. Art style is pretty unique. They built their own engine for this game from scratch, and it looks really nice, plays well, and that does mean that it doesn't really feel quite like any other RTS out there. There's a lot of games that, like, for example, use the Rise of Nations engine or use the Empire Earth engine and that kind of thing, and so there are RTSs that feel just like Rise of Nations or Empire Earth that just have a different skin on them. I I think my favorite actually is Galactic Battlegrounds, which is the Star Wars skinned version of Age of Empires 2.
That was so fun.
It was a fun game.
That was
But
so
it's
fun.
it's just Age of Empires
Oh,
2
yeah.
with Star Wars skins. It's
was
exactly
so
the same.
fun, though.
It was a good
I
game.
loved it.
That was a good game. But yeah, so the game is focused around Norse civilization, so ancient Norse civilization, which means that unlike Age of Empires, you don't have a whole bunch of different civilizations, but you do have different clans. Currently, I think there are 6 clans in the game. I think their plan is to release with 10, so they've got at least 4 more in the works. And basically what those are is they're kind of like civilizations in Age of Empires, where the technology tree is 90% the same between every one of them. And then they have like, each clan has like, oh, we have this technology and don't have this technology, or we have this unit and we don't have this unit, and that kind of thing, just to kind of change things up a little bit. That's, I got used to that with Age of Empires. I can see why people would think like, oh, StarCraft is way better because even though you only have 3 civilizations, they're all super different from each other. And that's true. There's definitely an appeal to that. At the same time, there's an appeal to doing it the other way too. It means that the gameplay is naturally much more balanced.
Yeah.
So, the reviews on Steam for the early access version of the game are super positive. Like, the only people that don't like it are the people that are all like, this isn't StarCraft. And I'm like, oh, yeah. So, if you're expecting StarCraft, don't pay $20 for it. But yeah, it's super positive. It sounds a little bit like the multiplayer servers are pretty iffy right now as far as reliability of connection is concerned. But LAN party, anyone? So
Age of Empires and that's how I did it.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
obviously, because
all the
back in the
RTS
day-
fans back in the day, you were playing multiplayer over the LAN, and that was the only way to do
it
it.
was the best.
It was fantastic.
Loved it.
So, even if the game is released and it turns out their multiplayer servers kind of still suck, just, have your friends that play the game come over, bring their laptops, play it on a LAN. It's a real-time strategy game. Those things will play on laptops. Like, they're pretty low intensity resource-wise. So, $20. It's the most interesting real-time strategy game that is coming out next year that isn't a remake of an Age of Empires game. So, there you go. Northgard. Check it out.
I definitely will check that out.
Okay, so
Can I do an update real fast on that?
Go for it.
The train simulator thing I was talking about, it is called Train Simulator World. The developer is Dovetail Games. And if I'm not mistaken, when I heard this, let me double check. Let's see. It's just for the PC. And I was hearing this, and I'm trying to find where it was on a podcast I was listening to, but I believe this was the Portal engine. I'm looking. I heard, but
I think you're thinking of the wrong game because
Is
I
it?
think you're talking about my next piece of news.
Oh, maybe I am.
So,
oh, I'm sorry.
And
no,
you
I
kind of
heard
ruined
something.
it
I heard
because,
something.
because like I have in big letters right there, Portal 3! Exclamation point!
Is it a train simulator game, or did I mix those up?
You mixed them up.
Oh, I must have. No, because I was listening to someone. They said something about this train simulator game, and they're like, "Oh yeah, and this one had Portal something." And I was like, "Oh, that's cool."
Yeah,
but I
so-
did see this train simulator world that you obviously create trains and you can do stuff. Anyway, that's what it's called, and it's for Windows 10. So
Yes.
why don't you go ahead and do your piece of news that I just ruined?
Portal 3!
Portal 3.
No, I'm just kidding. So this did come out of or was announced at the Games Awards.
Right.
It's Bridge Constructor, and it is.
I think that's what I was going
Yeah.
for, and I connected the other one.
Yep.
It was late at night, so please forgive me for this type of news. This is horrible podcasting of me. 100% I'm going to own this one. That's what I was thinking.
Yes.
And for some reason, I put the train simulator world. That's my fault.
Yep.
Sorry, everybody.
So yeah, Bridge Constructor is releasing a Portal skinned version of their game. For those of you that aren't familiar with Bridge Constructor, it's a physics-based kind of sandbox simulation style thing where you're given puzzles and you have to get like a truck from point A to point B, and in order to do that you have to build a bridge over a big old gap. And so you build the bridge. It just so happens that the truck says Aperture Science on the side and GLaDOS is narrating the thing. That's basically what it amounts to.
Yeah.
From the trailer, it did look like there might actually be some portals in the game that you can use to solve puzzles, but they're statically placed. So you like build bridges to get to the portal, and then you drive through the portal. And so it's not nearly... they're not thinking with portals.
Right.
So this is not a Portal game. It is a bridge constructor game that is just like every other bridge constructor game, except it's been skinned with Portal's IP because Valve wants to make more money off of Portal without doing any actual work on Portal.
They're winning.
I'm not bitter.
I'm not bitter.
Anyways,
would it be great if they put Half-Life on there? Black Mesa.
that would just be salt in so many wounds. Like, I think people, like, legitimately, there would be people out there that would stop using Steam over that.
Probably. But they'd be back.
Yeah. They've got like thousands of dollars worth of games in there. Of course they'll be back. Okay. So, also from Games Awards, there was a new game announced from developer Campo Santo, who are the developers behind Firewatch, which was 2016, want to say. Probably the best indie game of 2016.
Actually, I think it was the beginning of this year.
I played it last Christmas.
Did you?
So I know it was 2016.
Maybe it was
it
released
might have been
on the
2015.
Xbox.
That could be.
Maybe that's what I was thinking.
That could be.
So.
But yeah, it's probably, I would say, the best indie game of 2016. It's got a fantastic narrative to it. It's a narrative game.
Yeah.
It's in some ways almost a walking simulator. There's a little bit more puzzle solving to it than that, but it's very narratively driven. If you like a really strong narrative, I would highly recommend Firewatch. It's usually $20. You can probably get it on sale. But they announced their next game that is going to be coming out in 2019 for Mac, Windows, and Linux. It's called In the Valley of Gods, and it sounds like it's going to be more similar to Firewatch. Like, it's a very narrative-driven game that's going to be kind of a walking puzzle-solving simulator. So there you go. It's interesting because they've got the one really good game out. Definitely worth keeping an eye on where this thing goes. It may end up bombing, but at the same time, developers that have come before them that have done this kind of thing have been that game company with stuff like Flower and Journey and now Sky that's coming out soon. And also Supergiant Games, who released Bastion and then Transistor and Pyre. So there's a lot of indie game developers that are starting to make a name for them with stuff like this, and I think Campo Santo is probably one to keep your eye on. Okay. A little bit of news for the Switch, because that's a thing that exists.
It does.
We remember sometimes. So the entire Bayonetta series, Bayonetta 1 and 2, are going to be coming to the Switch. That's probably not terribly surprising for people that knew that Bayonetta 2 was a Wii U exclusive. Since nobody actually bought the Wii U, it makes sense to re-release the game on Switch because people own that.
Yeah.
So
why not?
People might actually play it now. They also announced that Bayonetta 3 is in development and is going to be a Switch exclusive for the time being. And more details on that coming next year. They didn't actually announce a release date, but it could be next year. We don't know. And the last piece of game news that I have is Tomb Raider. What we have so far is Square Enix has announced that a major event involving Tomb Raider is going to happen in 2018. There have been rumors that a new Tomb Raider game was in development. It's been kind of up in the air as to which studio is actually working on it, whether or not it's Crystal Dynamics that did the last two games, did such a great job with them, by the way, or if it's going to be somebody else that's doing it. Sounds like it might actually be two studios working on it. All of that stuff really kind of concerns me, but you know, whatever. It's Tomb Raider. I'll almost certainly buy it.
Yeah, you will.
But
maybe it's a release with the movie.
I mean, it might be. They haven't actually said.
Maybe. I don't know.
The working title that was rumored for it this whole time was Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Right.
And the announcement that they released to say, we've got a big event for Tomb Raider coming in 2018. They didn't say if it was the release of the game itself or just like, we're going to announce a new Tomb Raider game in 2018. Could be either one. But the press release they had 6 sentences in it. And the beginning, the first letter of each of those 6 sentences spelled out shadow. The sentences themselves, the way the paragraphs were constructed, was super awkward. Like, they were using phrases that I was all like, why would you even say that in that context? But if you were trying to get specifically the letter S at the beginning of that sentence, and then you kind of had to do some weird wording in order to do it, okay, I buy that. So, almost definitely confirmed. Next Tomb Raider game, going to be called Shadow of the Tomb Raider. We are going to, at the very least, be getting a release date for it sometime in the next year. So,
sweet.
Coming. That's all the gaming news
that means I got to play the second one.
Yes.
I've done the first one twice, but I need to get to the second
That
one.
second one is so good. It's better. It's better than the first one for one simple reason. They took out all the dang QuickTime events. They're just gone.
Good. That was
It's
annoying.
amazing.
Because there's times I was watching this cinematic and all of a sudden she
I know,
just dies.
and
I'm
then
like,
you die.
oh, was I supposed to be doing something?
So dumb. So dumb. Anyways,
He knows.
there you go.
Sweet. Is that it?
Yes, that's it.
Awesome. Well, guys, I think
I think Landon had
did he have one more
piece
thing?
of gaming news.
Come on, man.
I know. I was just. Well, you should definitely tell everyone your Minecraft story.
I'll get to that.
I bet you will.
I'll get to that.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Okay.
I'll get to that.
I'm excited.
Anyways, mobile game spotlight of the week. I went with an older game, quote unquote older game. It's like 3 years old.
I think, yeah.
But it's
Outdoors
still
Adventure.
good.
Outdoors Adventure. We've talked about this a lot, but it's still a great
It's
game.
fantastic.
So good. I mean, it's available on both Android and iOS and Windows 10
Yeah.
on the desktop.
But let me tell you, there are a lot of ads.
Yeah.
That one, it costs money on the other platforms, though, so free.
Oh my goodness.
No, not
I
good?
couldn't get
Okay.
through it unless there's I haven't checked. There may be an update, but
But it is available.
Please let me buy it. Please.
Yeah. So, it's available for all the major
Yes.
things. But great game. You are this kid on a snowboard trying to catch llamas.
Correct.
And that's basically the gist of the game. And every now and then you try to outrun
An elder.
an elder on a llama.
Yeah. They're dogged pursuers.
they
Oh,
get-
man.
The further you get into the game, the faster they get. They get really quick.
Yes. Yes.
And the way you speed up is by doing tricks, and it makes you go faster and get away from them a little bit easier. And it's a really fun game.
Yeah.
The graphics on it are gorgeous, especially for a mobile game. It's really good.
Yeah. Staggeringly good art style. Very unique. Looks super good.
Yeah. And there's a lot of different tasks that you have to do to get to the next levels, and some of them are more difficult than others. Some are really simple. Some are a pain in the butt.
Yes.
Can I ask a question?
No.
What is who created it?
Do it anyways.
Oh,
Who is the developer on this? I will look that up.
The reason why I ask, I just wanted to see if it finally came out on the mobile platform for Windows 10, and I see
Noodle Cake
Alto's.
Studios.
Nope. not the same. This one is Simple Creator. This is Alto's Adventure HD, and I can buy it for that.
It's Snowman on the iOS store. The developer
Really?
is
Well, that's-
Snowman.
Mine's
Okay, let me show you.
Noodle Cake Studios Incorporated is what mine's showing.
That's the screenshot. Is that the same or is that not?
That looks different.
But yeah, I'm looking, and apparently this one you can be a polar bear. Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's not the same.
Oh, this one's
it
a
looks similar. But
hang glider.
That is super weird.
there's kind of that option in here, but it's
I think
still
it's the
different.
same thing, but this one I can buy.
That looks that looks like it's basically the same idea, but it is different.
It might be someone else. Well, if it's different on different.
Well, yeah, so the developer is Snowman on iOS. And
Yeah, this one's called Simple Creator.
that's weird. What the heck? That's bizarre. Why is it different between iOS and Android?
I have no idea.
What?
Anyway, sorry, I was just wanted
Strange.
Can you see the developer address in the App Store?
No.
Because mine's giving an address of Saskatoon, Canada.
Yeah, no, it doesn't really give you anything like that on the App Store.
to not seeing anything.
That's bizarre.
And the developer email is at noodlecake.com, so
Weird.
I'm looking through.
Maybe I wonder if they developed it just for iOS and then let
well,
these
it
guys
initially
port it.
came out on iOS.
Yeah. So
and
I wonder
then
if
it came out a few months later on
they
Android.
just licensed it to these guys after release and said you guys can port it to Android
Potentially.
and do a
I don't know.
profit sharing thing or something. I don't know. That's weird.
Either way, Alto's Adventure, excellent game.
Yes, it is
If you haven't downloaded it yet, I don't know why.
Yeah.
You definitely should.
Yeah.
It's a fun game. It's one that you can literally just go in for a minute or two and play and just have fun. There's even a is it called relax mode? Is that what
Zen
it is?
mode.
Zen mode.
Zen
You put on
mode.
headphones and it
Oh.
plays this just calming music, and you just go. There's nothing
Yeah.
to kill you or anything. It's just
Mm.
And you
just
can
you
crash
and-
and just get back up again and
Yep.
keep going. Like, okay, legit. They have an Apple TV version of this app,
nice.
which is included with the purchase if you buy it on iOS. So, you get it on both devices. And I downloaded and I will occasionally, if I just really need to chill, I'll just go sit in the recliner with my gamepad and just sit there and tap A in Zen mode for legitimately 30 minutes. It is
That's
so
awesome.
dang relaxing. Super, super fantastic. So it is an
Very
endless
nice.
runner for
Yeah.
anyone who's just kind of wondering it. You just go until you die and then you start over and try it again.
Gotcha.
Yep.
And it's great. It's one of the best endless runners ever made by far.
Oh, easy. I'm very excited for Alto's Odyssey
Yes.
to come out next year.
Yes.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. Anyways, yeah, Alto's Adventure. It's available on all platforms, except kind of when
Odd
on the phone. Apparently slightly different on all three, but it's there.
But it's there.
Yeah.
So
So now
Awesome.
on to my Minecraft adventure. So I've been trying to play more often.
He has.
And most of the time when I get on, I just kind of roam around and look at different things because I have no idea what the heck I'm doing. And I'm trying to figure things out now. So I just went off away. This is in our Calling All Platforms realm. And so if you are on this and you see what I've done, I'm sorry. So what, just for fun, what I started to do was dig a hole and just see how far down I could go. And then I eventually was like, I need a way to get out of here. So I started building steps. So if you find, I built a barrier around
Your
'Cause-
hole.
I didn't, because I made it so it initially was just the hole and then it kind of tunneled into these steps.
Mm-hmm.
So I made it so this, there's a full, one square lane
Mm-hmm.
that drops. So I put a barrier there so you don't just drop and die. Because I didn't want to do that to anybody. So I'm kind of being nice. So if you find a random, barrier with steps that go to nothing, don't
You'll
go down.
find
Don't
Landon.
go. No, well, not anymore. You would have. It's funny. So I started doing this, then I started going down some more, and I fell into this cavern of nothing. And I dropped, and I was like, "What the?" It's dark all of a sudden, and I look up. There's my hole that I can't get to anymore. I'm like, "Oh crap! I gotta find my way out of here." And it was pitch black. I couldn't see a dang thing. And somehow I was able to start moving around and got to where I could kind of see something. So I go towards this light, trying to, maneuver my way around this dark cavern. I've found a lot of interesting things in this thing. It's just some random cavern. I found some waterfalls, a little pond, some lava flow, which has provided me light, which is very beneficial.
Yes, because he didn't really take a torch.
No. Oh, I have torches. I couldn't figure out how to use them.
Oh yeah, he's
You-
got him
you-
in his hand, and he wanders around. This doesn't give off light.
Yeah.
Well, in Minecraft, you have to place them.
Well, I tried doing that. It didn't work. At least it hasn't yet.
It's all right.
I'm going to try again, and hopefully it'll work.
I want to let you know that you are not the only one that decided in Minecraft to learn it. Can I just dig a hole down? You are not the only one. I
know I'm not the
It's
only one.
everyone's first experience with Minecraft.
So I'm currently trying to get out of this cavern and back onto, above ground and see some sky. I haven't seen that in a while. So this is what's happening on Minecraft for me. So again, if you're on our realm and you see some random steps that go down, don't follow those steps because you will fall into this cavern of nothing and get lost. It's funny, I was telling Wes before we recorded, I started building up some steps in this cavern to try and get out because I figured, okay, I'll just go up as high as I can and I'll eventually get out. And I got to this place where there was light kind of from behind so I could see at least behind me to know which direction I'm going. And I was going up and up and up, and all of a sudden, water. I must have been like under a lake or something.
Yeah.
And it pushed me back down into this pond. I'm like, oh, crap. I got to go somewhere else now because that's not going to work.
He's having a wonderful Minecraft experience.
It's,
beautiful. It's
as frustrating as it can be, it is fun. I'm learning.
Yep.
So once I get back onto the main land area, I can do something now.
Yeah. I can punch dirt.
There you go.
I was going to dig down it far enough and then just build my own cavern, but then I dropped.
Yeah. And then I'm like in the new world. Yep. It's awesome.
So, but yeah,
I'll come find
it's
you.
fun. Hopefully.
I'll at least put a train or a mine cart down there so you can just ride it all the way back up when I'm lost. Whee!
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
It's interesting, but it's fun.
Good times.
Glad we're having good times. Anyone else have anything else?
No.
Nope.
No. All right. Well, that's everything we have for today, guys. Thank you for listening and have a good one.
Bye-bye.
See ya.